The world of photography is buzzing, and if you've been waiting for the next big leap in the Canon APS-C lineup, you are definitely not alone. For months, the photography community has been obsessed with the potential arrival of the Canon EOS R7 Mark II. It has been a topic of endless debate, leaked specs, and hopeful speculation across every forum and comment section on the internet. Everyone expected a powerhouse, a successor to the already impressive EOS R7 that would redefine what a crop sensor camera is capable of in 2026. However, the path to a new release is rarely a straight line. And as we look at the current landscape, the story of the EOS R7 Mark II has become one of the most intriguing sagas in the tech industry. It's a story about timing, manufacturing priorities, and the delicate balance between giving users exactly what they want and keeping a brand's ecosystem competitive in an ever-shifting market. Welcome back to my channel Tech Rivet for exclusive insights into the future of tech. Subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon for more tech updates. To understand why there's so much anticipation, we have to look back at the original Canon EOS R7. When it launched, it set a high bar. It brought professional-grade features to a segment of the market that often felt ignored. Wildlife photographers, sports shooters, and hybrid creators flocked to it because it offered speed, reach, and image quality that felt like a steal for the price. Naturally, when rumors started swirling about a Mark II version, expectations skyrocketed. People weren't just asking for minor tweaks. They were dreaming of a 39-megapixel stacked CMOS sensor, blistering 40 frames per second burst rates, and professional-level 8K video capabilities. They wanted a mini powerhouse that could stand toe-to-toe with the big boys, the full-frame flagships, without the astronomical price tag. The leaked whispers about a new DIGIC Accelerator processor for AI-driven autofocus only added fuel to the fire. It felt like Canon was about to drop the ultimate tool for the aspiring pro. But here is where the reality of the industry kicks in. We live in an era where supply chains are complex, and a corporation as massive as Canon has to juggle dozens of product lines at once. While the internet was ready to throw money at the EOS R7 Mark II, internal reports and industry leaks suggest that Canon's roadmap had a shift. Why? Because the market for high-margin, full-frame, next-generation cameras took precedence. In a world of unpredictable economic shifts, brands often prioritize products that yield higher returns and define the cutting edge of their technology stack. The EOS R7 Mark II, while highly desired, was reportedly shifted in the timeline to make room for these other heavy hitters. It's a classic case of what was true yesterday, a planned Q4 launch, not necessarily being the plan for tomorrow. This delay isn't just about corporate strategy. It's about the philosophy of the camera itself. Many have argued that the current EOS R7 is still arguably the best in its class, even years after its release. Because there is so little direct competition that truly threatens its dominance in the wildlife and sports niche, Canon isn't in a desperate rush to replace it. This is a common pattern in the tech world. When a product is too good, it actually buys the manufacturer more time. The engineers aren't just going to rehash the old design. They're looking to deliver something that feels like a generational jump. That takes time, R&D, and the right moment to hit the market. And let's be honest, for the average user, the idea of a camera being delayed is frustrating. But for the product to be successful, it needs to arrive with the right features, the right price point, and the right competitive positioning. So, what should you actually expect when the EOS R7 Mark II finally does arrive? If we read between the lines of the most credible rumors, the core hardware improvements are likely still on the table. The shift in timeline doesn't necessarily mean a downgrade in the final specs. The jump to a 39-megapixel BSI stack sensor is still the most discussed upgrade. For birders and wildlife photographers, that sensor speed is the holy grail. It allows for the kind of readout speeds that make electronic shutters truly viable for fast-moving subjects, effectively eliminating rolling shutter issues. When you pair that with an advanced DIGIC Accelerator, your look. ING at autofocus tracking that isn't just good, it's predictive and surgical. Furthermore, let's talk about the body and the ergonomics. The original R7 was a workhorse, but it had its critics regarding the control layout and the joystick dial setup. The industry is betting that the Mark II will borrow heavily from the design language of the newer EOS R6 and R5 series. This means better grip ergonomics, potentially more robust physical controls, and a more streamlined menu interface. There's also the question of dual card slots. To make this a true pro APS-C camera, the inclusion of a CF Express Type-B slot alongside an SD card slot is almost mandatory. It's about data throughput. If you're shooting 40 frames per second or recording high bitrate 8K, you need the buffer clearance that only CF Express can provide. Think about the workflow of a modern creator. In 2026, it's not just about taking a photo. It's about the speed of the edit, the accuracy of the AF, and the reliability of the gear in the field. When you look at how the Canon EOS R7 Mark II is being positioned, it's clearly targeted at those who want the pro experience without moving into the full-frame ecosystem, which often brings heavier, more expensive lenses. By keeping the APS-C sensor, Canon keeps the system lightweight, a huge selling point for those who hike miles into the woods for a shot or run along the sidelines of a sports event. It's about versatility. If the camera delivers on these rumored specs, it will essentially become the gold standard for anyone who values reach over sensor size. Now, I know what you're thinking. If it's not coming until 2027, should I just buy the current R7 or switch brands? This is the dilemma for thousands of photographers right now. The current market is saturated with options, and it's easy to get distracted by the shiny new features of competitors. But here's the reality. If you need a tool today, waiting for a rumor is a gamble that might leave you stuck with no gear. If you don't have a camera, the R7 is still an incredibly capable machine. It's battle-tested and well-supported. However, if you're looking for that specific Mark II performance, the stacked sensor, the absolute fastest AI tracking, then the waiting game is the only path. But let's talk about the broader picture for a moment. Why does the EOS R7 Mark II matter so much? Because it represents a commitment to the crop sensor format. There's been a fear in the industry that brands are abandoning APS-C to focus solely on full frame. The continued interest in the R7 series proves that there is a massive, dedicated audience that wants high-end tech in a smaller package. Canon knows this. They know that the red-headed stepchild narrative is a myth. They understand that for a massive segment of their customer base, the R7 is the gateway to professional photography. As we look toward the early part of next year, the anticipation will likely only grow. We expect to see more certifications, more subtle leaks from the supply chain, and eventually the official announcement. When that day comes, the discussion will shift from will it exist to is it the king of APS-C. The bar has been set by the original, and the Mark II has a lot to live up to. It needs to provide that massive jump in resolution and speed while maintaining the reliability that Canon users expect. It needs to be a camera that feels like it's built for the next 5 years of content creation.